been streaming my Wizardry 7.
Okay, forgot to test it, but I think we're going to be good. Okay, so let's start the game introduction. Okay. Let's welcome back everyone. I don't know. I'm well, sorry for the pop-up stream. I just don't know what to do if like I change a stream at the last minute. I don't know if I should just cancel it or change it to what especially what another group may want to watch cuz I'm pretty sure that the people wanting to watch Druid probably are different from the people wanting to watch um like Wizardry 7 for example. Okay, we were just used the moonstone and we're teleported down to the monk dungeon. So I think right now there's just nothing more but to just start exploring. Start some exploring. Let's go south. Okay. Skeletons. Ooh. Skeletons. Okay, as usual we're gonna hide. Now one of the reasons that I went through a priest is in order to get the spell Dispel Undead. I'll tell you what, that spell has been. That is probably, I would say, one of the most underrated spells in this game. Especially in areas where you account a bunch of skellies. Yeah, I'll call them skellies. No, not much XP, although considering we probably Some of these monsters are going to be fairly easy because a lot of people, after they do Orc Ogre, they often Munkharma is often the second stopover. Now these birds are fairly weak. You know, spectral ravens, they can do some annoying things like cause fear by crying, and which is my main concern. So I'm already hitting, and you notice that we were already hit with a frightened bug. That being said, running away is actually not a bad thing because it does end the battle. And these birds also have the ability to blink, so... Okay, what I did is I just pressed the enter key to speed things up a little bit. I just want to get this over with. I usually don't like to use falling stars on such weak monsters, but falling stars actually attacks all monster groups. And it's more, I would say it's more economical. So one of them blinked out, so we should get all of them but one. I'm sure someone's going to put in the comments about how I am addicted to falling stars. Okay, only one. Oh, I forgot we bash. It seems like bash gives us the maximum damage. See, there's 79 hit points. And almost 100,000 XP. It's pretty impressive. So we're going to do a Cure Lesser Condition. Lesser conditions are things like blindness, nausea. I don't think sleep. I don't think silence. But for some of the others, you need something more potent, like poison. You need Cure Poison. And like for insanity, you need Sane Mind. And if you get disease, which is the worst, you better make sure you either have Cure Disease spell or you have a Cure Disease potion. Because that, how can I say this nicely? That's going to, let's just say it's not going to be fun. You're going to start picking up other illnesses like nausea. Pretty soon you won't be able to. Dragon lizards. There's just two of them. We're gonna melee them. Okay, so that's the east. So let's... Okay, so we went east, south. Let's go west. Okay, there's a ladder down. Who knows what's down there? Whoa, what happened? Okay, looks like we were lowered into a... I don't know where we are. Let's see where we are. We are in a totally new area, but we at least must be on the second level because this green dot means that it's not necessarily a way to go up. It just means that there is a, like if we turn around, you see if you look up here, that up right at the top there's a little box. If we only had a way to like climb up, and emitting squeaky cries amid threatening leaps, kicks in karate chops, a ragged month, disgusting and filthy, covered with festering sores and oozing green scabs and foaming wildly at the mouth, insanely begins to claw and bite at you. Oh great, 2 frothing monks. Mad monk, mad monk. Sometimes I like to verbally say the chat, other times I like to, type it in the chat, I like humor. So if you want to, feel free to put a good joke in chat. At least the wretch is out of his misery. Oh, great. That's kind of like saying, oh, you're not feeling well. Here, let's, but let's just say I'm not going to say any more on that topic, Stepping in the darkness, you hear the sound of dragging footsteps. And above 6 feet above your head, a hot, fetid, heavy breathing. Oh, great, what is this? Oh, leper giants, how cute. I think Weird Al did a parody song, and I think it was called The Leper Colony, or something along those lines. And some people may find it a little offensive. I think the only reason he probably gets away with it is because of the fact that almost everyone knows it's a parody. My mic isn't working as good as it used to, so maybe okay. So we're hidden. How do we know we're hidden? Above the U in failure, there's a little shadow there. That means that we're hidden. Okay, another 96,000 XP. Okay, by the way, there is an ad break that's coming up soon. So what I usually ask people to do is Take the time. If you need to use the bathroom, go ahead. If you need to, like do something, do something else, go ahead. Right now, I've actually been I'm actually still recovering from a lot of drinking, and I'm just gonna say that today I tried. And when your liver expands, your stomach tends to have less capacity. So I tried at lunch today to have like spaghetti, a little bit of spaghetti, and 4 ounces of chicken, and I'd say it really pushed me. So I'm probably gonna just stick with the chicken and maybe try not to have something where it was probably 8 ounces of carb-laden food, which tends to soak up water, so it probably expanded in the stomach. So I'm gonna try something where, because even if you use only 2 ounces of spaghetti dry, it'll probably soak up 3, maybe 4 times its weight. Okay, so here we go. Okay, ad break is over according to my calculations, and I was talking about carbs, and so I may go for something like, I know it's not the most healthy, but right now, since I can eat a limited amount of food, I'm trying to go for foods that are, like let's just say high in, fairly calorie dense. So, and fats are the most calorie dense. I'll tell you a story about how dense they are in maybe in a little bit, but Okay, we've got another room. Who knows what we're going to encounter here? The chamber is vile and obscene, filled with more of the feculent outcasts and lost souls. More frothing monks. Yay. And they're frothing because they're insane. No, they're not frothing because they all had, like, you know, beer and they've got, like, foam around their mouths. No, not that type of frothing. Let's see. Now the thing is, we can still be hit with either breath attacks or spell attacks or special attacks. I'm not sure if we can, I'm not sure about things that are thrown. I'm not sure about that. Sheesh, how many of these monks are gonna, like, throw up on us? It's like we're getting hit with puke. Ew. Hey, Boxy. I'm having fun. I've got some monks that were just puking on me. Yay. What fun. And what spell is Moody gonna cast? Does anyone have a guess at what spell Moody's gonna cast? Let's see. Crush? Nah. Cure Stone? Nah. Ah, Falling Stars. Let's just watch Falling Stars do its magic, and so far the only creature that has resisted Falling Stars are those jellyfish type things. I already know the Yep, it's that star spell. Level 55. We're not gaining any abilities because they're all maxed out. In fact, one of them is more than maxed out. Its speed is super maxed. Pretty soon we'll have all hundreds in the physical. Pretty soon we'll have all hundreds. Oh, interesting. It was an odd numbered spell, odd number level, but it did not give us any spells. Interesting. Maybe we're already maxed out. Okay, looks like we teleported somewhere. Let's see where we teleported. Ah, somewhere we don't know. Okay. This seems like an amazing place. Again, I hate to use it, but usually with 4 or 5 groups, I like to go with Falling Stars because it's efficient. Okay, so here we go. I think 64 is enough. Level 4 is enough to do it. I'm just going to go through these quickly because I like to advance the plot. I'd rather, I'd rather, combat is nice, but I'd rather. Okay, I'm gonna save it here, and I'm going to rest for a little bit. But Boxy, I'll just say this: I'm actually. I hope you're doing well. I'm actually slowly getting better. It's a slow process, and my doctor said it would be. Doctor gave me some suggestions in order to hurry it up, which I've done. So I'm about probably progressing as fast as possible. Okay, so what? And I agree, the thing is, there is such thing as an upward spiral. Maybe what happens is you find out what happened, and you're like, okay, I now know what I need to do. Whoops, no. And Boxy, also I've gotten. I don't know if you were here. 2 streams ago, but yes, I did get the Cane of Corpus. And believe it or not, I'm glad to hear that, Boxy. I'm glad to hear that you've really turned it around. And the amazing thing about the Cane of Corpus, it actually only took me 2 attempts. Because oftentimes what can I say? I forgot what I was going to say. Oftentimes blind mice runs away and you can't get the cane. The reason it took me 2 times is because blind mice, I think, killed me with like a deadly poison. So guess what I did to blind mice? I killed him with a deadly poison. And then once I did that, then I just had to take care of the hired help. But yeah, this Cane of Corpus. Now, that being said, I could have, gotten lucky with a random number generator, like maybe blind mice is like 125% immune to poison. But because I have because remember, I think I had like a level 49 or level 50 ninja. Okay, if you see a dot, now the reason that failure detects something is because I'll show you his failure's abilities. Failure in physical scouting, they have 100, so it's going to be very likely. Now, warning or notice, caution. Just because you have 100 doesn't mean it's automatic. I've played Wizardry 6 and I've seen Wizardry 6 streams where the thief had 100 like skullduggery and could not pick a lock. Granted, it was probably a pretty tough lock, but still. Okay, so you press that. That means there's a secret passage. Okay, finally, we're in the monk dungeon, and we finally get some monks 30 minutes in. Ooh, these are dark forest monks. These can cast some decent spells. Look at that, 71 damage, 40 damage critical. 48 damage. Oh, sure, Dark Forest Monk. Go to the back. Hide behind your friends. Hide behind your friends. Let's go after the demented monks. I'm not too worried about that monk in the back because it's only one. It's only one. Oh, and it's unusual. Like, even after hitting in combat, I'm still hidden. Wow, impressive. Wow, this seems unusual. I mean, I have a dodge armor class of 11, negative 11, and yet I'm still being hit. Since this is the DFortae mod, probably DFortae has something to do with it, you know. I'm not saying that in a bad way, saying, hey, even if you have, you know, they still give you a minimal chance to hit. Well, no, its name is Failure because I think one episode it had like 3 backfires in a row. And we're not talking like fizzles, we're talking backfires. But that being said, if it's, you know, I'll probably allow a minimum of 1 fizzle, but if the failure can get through with maybe just 1 fizzle, I'll consider renaming. Yep. Okay, failure detects something. So that means we should search. The candle sconce pulls out from the wall. Oh, and we have another passage. I bet you when we enter, we're going to have another combat. Thank God, thank goodness I didn't put any money on that. Okay, we have a chest. I tend to be a little bit over-instructive in things, so we always disarm it. First, it allows us to inspect it. Okay, so now if it's green, that means it's safe. Yellow means that you won't make any progress on disarming or inspecting, but it won't go off. Red means it will go off. So let's say 258. Toxic gas, I can live with that even if I were to failure. And you see it's occasional yellow. You see a flash or 2 of red. Okay, all we're taking is the key. The only thing I would go for is a rod or like a wand. Oh crap. because it may be the wand of sprites, which is what I'm looking for. There is one drawback to a solo run, and I'll show it to you here. Notice we're not overweight. Our current capacity is 22 out of 198, but we only have 20 inventory slots. And there's a lot more than 20. Let's go north. Let's see what's north. Okay, now we're actually, if you look at where we are, it's right across from where we got the chest. But if, let's say, the chest were still there, let's say you try to open it. You pull the lever, but nothing happens. It appears to be broken. So in other words, it doesn't work. Okay, we've got a monk's key. Let's see if that'll let us in. Okay. I'm gonna assume we're not ready for this area yet. Oh hey! It's more skelly skellies. Usually Dispel Undead works, but I want to try something. I want to try to see if Falling Stars works on skellies. They're skeletons, but I like to call them skellies. And then that way I will know. Because if I have a group of like five skelly skellies, Shnikes, Falling Stars even works on the skeletons. Wow. I will tell you later in chat how another way to kill the jellyfish. Okay, so I'm gonna go northwest. And by the way, y'all, thank y'all for joining me tonight and dropping in and watching. By the way, lurkers are welcome. There's no rule. The only rule I have is if you want to participate in chat, just don't be a douche. Don't threaten anyone. Nothing racist. Homophobic, etc. And puns and jokes are welcome in chat. Okay, so I actually did get in not a little trouble. I did get scolded a bit because I did throw out a pun in the the streamer didn't was not too pleased. So what I always like to ask, you know, everyone has different etiquette. Again? Really? Ooh, 3 spirits. I could use Dispel Undead on them, but guess what? Who needs Dispel Undead when you've got the Cane of frickin' Corpus? Come on, let's bash. 62. Ooh, crap, we got 2 keys. Which I'm not a fan of because they take up 2 inventory slots. Key of Tombs, they are important towards the end. Key of Gars, I wish they would have been the same, but... Okay, so let's say which directions have we gone from this main room? We've gone northeast, east, south, west, and we got dumped. Northwest, north, and northeast. So let's go this direction. Probably we should call this west-northwest. Okay, there's a room here. Let's have a look-ski in. Ooh. We've got some tough character. Mad Warders, monks. They could be Dark Forest monks. I don't think they're monk ninjas because we already have those. And we got some Ompani. I'm going to hide. These warders can cast some really nasty spells. We're gonna still cast. We're gonna still rely on old falling stars. We're gonna do it at 96. Okay, there's your failure. There's your 1 strike. If you fizzle a second time, you still stay failure. I'm giving you 1 chance because you do cast a lot of spells, especially high-level spells. Okay, you see that green thing? That's to indicate that there's, I think Noxious Fume has a duration, so that's telling us that there's still a Noxious Fume spell that's in effect. I thought the Mad Warders were stronger than the Okay, let's do some lightning on the renegades. Most of the Ompani, fortunately, aren't spellcasters. So usually we usually brute force them. But we have an acid cloud around us, so sorry, we don't have enough inventory room, so we've been littering a lot. Notice that sometimes our name does come up, so even though we're hidden, we can still be hit with spells. I hope everyone can hear me fairly well. Yellow potion, what's that? Falling stars. We probably need to rest after this because we're getting low. Thank you. Oh, draining cloud. Okay. Okay, it didn't take out all of them. I'm gonna go melee, cause 74. Oh great. We've got a young Godzilla. Oh, hello Godzilla. Hopefully I can one-shot the ninja monks. That way I don't have to... I can stay hidden. I hate to give you the be the bearer of bad news, young Godzilla, but okay. So here we go. Oh, that was easy. Paralyze, poison. We made enough experience there to just level up. I mean, it's about 600,000 per level up. Okay, so we're gonna go for Mace and Flail because Ledger Main, that's the 5-finger discount. Now, I'm just gonna throw this out here, and so people often say, sometimes people's reasoning for shoplifting. What's that? That's interesting. People sometimes will say for shoplifting, hey, corporate greed or whatnot. But a lot of times, if there's shoplifting, guess who feels it? It's not the CEO higher up who's got insurance to pay it. It's the sales associate who gets fired because they didn't catch him or they did something they should not have. So please keep that in mind when, Now that being said, I'm going to just say if you're there to shoplift, you're like, you don't care. Okay, so Ooh, treasure chest back there. Okay, here we go again. Falling stars. Now, one thing they tried to do is they tried to conjure, and notice it said nothing appears. That's because their ranks are full. They have a full. They only have like five. You know, five groups. So if they try to summon a, you know, and there's no room, it's the same thing. If I have a monster I've summoned, I cannot summon another one until it's killed, which actually happened in the Magna Dane. I actually summoned two monsters because I had I think a young Mixelplix or Mixelskim or something, and that was, whew, I think she like stoned three of them. But then I think I saw they finally killed one of the, I think the High Fathers killed her, and then I got a Fiero. Now I'm just wondering if instead of a Fiero, I wish you could summon a Fieri. They don't do a lot of damage, but they can make you one heck of a, you know, one heck of a chicken parmesan. Okay, I'm actually gonna fall star again. I'm gonna go 3 this time just to be safe. See, there's still 4 monster groups, so that's why, you know, it depends. If I only have 2 monster groups, I'm gonna melee. I've got the Cane of Corpus. But if I have 4, it's gonna take me a minimum of 4 rounds to dispense all of them, and I know that most of them summon monsters. So let's see what we're gonna do here. We have a chest, disarm. Ooh, Spectral Ray. I don't like this, okay? Spectral Ray, let's see what happens. 1, 2. Remember, green, if you get a green, it unlocks it. Yellow, it doesn't, but still gives you another chance. Red, it sets off the trap. Yes. The only thing I want here are the rusted keys. I don't want anything else here. Okay, there should be an ad break that's coming up. Okay, I'm back. Ad break is over. I put a little pun there in the chat. Protein you can take with you. We call it way to go. I was inspired by that because what happened is my first ad was an ad for whey protein. Seriously, game? Really? You're like, okay, I mean, now I'll tell you what, I don't mind that they did it to me now, but let's say after the Magda Dane fight, if they threw another 5 groups of Danes on me, I'm just going to say that I'd be buying a new monitor at the minimum. I mean, come on. I mean, oh boy, ooh. Looks like we've got an acid bomb, we've got a draining cloud, oh joy. And again, we have one in each group. Ugh. I hate to use falling stars again, but you know, this was even worse than before. Let's try a level 2, see if a level 2 will get, even 4 out of 5 isn't bad, so at least we can melee the last one. Okay. Okay. So we're on an odd number level, so that means we should be getting a spell. Welcome on in, Captain Zanzibar. What's up, nerd? I'll tell you what, Captain Zanzibar does a lot of pinball streams. He also does a great does a lot of great things, so I'm going to give Captain Zanzibar a shout out. The run's going well tonight, but I think more importantly, my health is actually getting better. Oh, all right, DFortae made it in. Okay, I can finally save it now. Yep, we're in the monk dungeon. And I mean, we honestly, we've barely scratched the surface. I don't know if I can do another shout out again, but I'll shout out DFortae once, because DFortae, I see a staff equipped. Is that what I think it is? Yes, indeed. And DFortae, the best part is it only took me 2 attempts. Because I know that blind mice sometimes likes to run and you can't get, and once blind mice runs you can't get the cane. But on the first attempt, blind mice deadly poisoned me. So on the second attempt, guess what? I deadly poisoned him right back. Killed him. And got the hired help, and victory is mine. So I think I had some luck with the random number generator because I don't know. I'm going to take a chance and melee these. Okay, but let's see if there's enough to shout out DFortae. DFortae is also a great, does a lot of streaming of retro and RPG. He's also the one that made this Wizardry 7 balanced mod, which honestly is tougher because it makes things. I changed my mind. I'm going to just do I'm just gonna do falling stars, but I'm only gonna do it at level 5. And DFortae actually streams pretty frequently, so I don't know how many DFortae. I think you've got about 4 or 5 different runs that you're doing. Now, one thing about the cane is I always bash. Oh, 83! 83 freaking damage! Ooh. Whoa. And I'll show you my character really quick. I'm up to level 57. Pretty much, I'm almost have hundreds in everything in the skills. So it's almost getting to the point where it's getting easier, but still, all it takes is a spectral ray chest trap to kill me. Okay, so let's see. So where did we come out? Okay, so we came out here. Okay, I know what's south to the south, so I'm not going that way yet. Well, let's go that way. Let's see what happens. Actually, it's not a bad idea. Let's see if our monk's key can. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back. There was a place north, if you remember, where we could not. Oh, that's south, Moody. But welcome on in. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm having a blast. I don't know how many parts it's going to take me to get through this. I mean, this could be like, 3 parts. But once I'm finished here, I'm actually going to go to the Witch Mountains. Okay, rusted keys. That's what we needed. So we're good. So what I want to do is I want to finish all the rooms that use rusty keys. What that'll do, that'll get the rusty keys out of our inventory. 6 monks, 7 monks. They're not monk ninjas or mad warders. Well, at least some of them are dark forest monks. Because they can cast spells. they're a step up from the demented monks. I don't know if anyone's into NFL football, but I was shocked at how the Bears did against the Commanders. Wow. I'm actually doing well myself. I've actually during the day, I'm usually a bit tired sometimes. So what I do is I'm actually my house is really cluttered. So I'm slowly uncluttering it so I can that way if I decide I want to sell it, I can get some decent money for it rather than because I'll let you know a little secret. Those companies that like Shelly buys houses and we buy houses. I actually checked one of them out and they pretty much about paid me. They were going to pay me for what I owed on the house, which is a good bit below market. But I mean the reason is it was clutter. Once I can unclutter it, make it look pretty, put a nice little bow on it, that'll actually help. And again, FY, just letting you know. Yep. Because honestly, I have things that I've never like I didn't even know I had, and I'm like, what? And so I'm gonna decide what do I want to do? Do I want to sell it or do I want to donate it? I'm leery about just selling because how can I say this? I tend to be cynical sometimes, and so I always think I'm gonna show them something, they're gonna look at it, and then they're gonna take it and run. Okay, so usually I forgot. Usually intersections have. Oh, good. This actually shouldn't be too bad. This is another. Captain. I'll actually wait to ask you in yours when you're streaming. Okay, so these are demented monks. So the good news is that they're not too bad. They don't cast spells. And to a 57 level monk, they're like a fly. They're just annoying. Okay, I'm not gonna finish it yet. I just put up the joke is how do you defeat the jellyfish? I didn't put it up in chat yet, but I'm gonna put the answer with it. But What's a good way to defeat the jellyfish? Okay, we're not taking anything because we're pretty powerful to begin with. But notice that we only have 1, 2, 3. We only have 4 inventory slots. Now, if I wanted, I could have like got 6 characters, killed 5 of them. But I think it really defeats the purpose. And of course, once I do that, Droopy's going to come along and say, "You know what? You cheated." I actually do decent with voices too. Okay, here we're going to go in room number 2. What? Oh, it was too good to be true. Good, bugs and bugs. I'm just wondering if you breeded a bug with a rabbit, wouldn't you get Bugs Bunny? Always wondered that, you know. After this battle, I'm going to show y'all something. I showed it, I think, previous stream, and no one got it. I have a card from a while back. This was probably 6-7 years ago. And the card here, it says 257 pixels, pints, plates. And I'm just curious if anyone knows what, it's, this is an old name for a company, for the company. If anyone wants to take a guess as to what the name is now, feel free to go ahead. I just thought I'd show that. Just for fun. No, it's no channel points awarded. It's more of a, fun thing. Okay, so we're going to go down this way. Okay, up. We're going to go use another one of our rusty keys. Now, I want to show you something. So, you see that we still have the rusted keys. What that means is there's at least one more of these gates that the rusted keys are needed to open. So that's how you tell when you have, because some things have more than one use, but it's so if the number of use is equal to the number of times you need it. So if, let's say, you need to open 6 of these gates, your rusted keys will have 6 quote-unquote charges. So far, this level's been fairly easy. Spirits, I could cast a I could cast a Dispel Undead, but I don't want to. I'd rather melee. I just want to. One good thing about this game is your spell points do slowly come back even if you're not sleeping. 71, 75. 68. We still have one left. And see, now if you see the shadow above the U, that means we're still hidden, and that's rare, but it can happen if you're high enough level and your hiding ability is 100. You can sometimes stay hidden even after several attacks, and that's a good thing. I just like to explore the whole room because for completeness sake, I like to I like to make the map very nicely. Okay. Okay, and you see our rusted keys are gone, so that means that there's no more of those gates to open with the rusted keys. No, always go with bash. Okay, here we go with the stag weevils. Again, we're going to do bash. I like the noises some of these make. Okay, oh yeah, that's where we got thrown in when that's where we teleported back to when we got dumped onto the second level. Okay. How do you feed the jellyfish? Okay, so how do you defeat the jellyfish? My answer would be summon SpongeBob who has a jellyfishing net +4. Okay, so that area is complete. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to, there's a few holes in the map. I tend to be a bit, I don't know if it's OCD or AR sometimes, but I like, yep, okay. So we've got two more paths to go with. We got the eastern, the southern eastern, and the eastern southern. I don't know. I just like, I don't know. Just something about SpongeBob, you know. It's and it's like one of these things. You come up with an idea for something, and maybe 90, you know, maybe 90% of the time it totally fails. Maybe like 8 to 9%. It's actually decent. And then there's usually that 1 to 2% where it's a hit. It's like people love it, and it's like sometimes you don't even predict it. It's like first example I can think of was The Simpsons. It's like no one would think Simpsons would still be going on. I think they were like started in like the late 80s. Okay. More monks. Okay, I can handle these. Even though there's 5 monster groups, none of them really particularly scare me. Wow. I don't remember Tracy Ullman show. I'm trying to remember what year that would have been. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Okay, I'm gonna go with Falling Stars, but I'm only gonna go level 5. So far, Failure's only had 1 failure, which is okay. You know, because I've cast so many spells, I usually like to allow 1 just in case. And by the way, if anti-magic is in effect, it doesn't count. One monk somehow survived. Well, we'll finish off the monk. Thanks, DFortae. I actually appreciate the history. I kind of like pop culture, you know, some things where it's like, you know, it's like how did that begin, you know, or okay. Okay, let's yep. Oh boy. I see a bunch of 3s and 2s. That means that these are probably tough monsters. They're probably monk ninjas. They may be mad warders. So, if we're gonna... Wow, 87. See, the reason I'm thinking like 1989, 90 was I knew a couple people on my residence hall was watching it. Was watching The Simpsons, and they liked it. Okay, Falling Stars level 6. And by the way, I One thing I also do is I actually do upload my videos to YouTube. So if let's say Twitch keeps my VODs for only 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks, if you want to see them, you can just still go to the YouTube, the same name, Moody_mystery. I'm also going to try to upload some of my clips. Okay, we made another level. Okay, so now we're going to go in room number 3. So what's in door number 3? Nothing. I can't believe it. Not even an encounter. Wow. Let's go in door number 4. Okay, we have an encounter. There's probably going to be an ad break coming up soon. Okay, so let's see again. Look at that cane of corpus going. You know what would go really nicely with the cane of corpus? A side of rods of sprites. That would be the perfect side. Okay, I had a feeling when we got to this open... Why do we keep fighting these like five monster groups with their like monk ninjas and stuff? I mean, sheesh. Whoa. I guess we're going with falling stars again. Okay, well, guess what? That's 2. So guess what? Failure. You're still named failure. Okay, so no name change for you. So let's try this again. I think failure heard me and said, okay, Moody. I heard you, so I'm going to make your life a living bleep, bleep, bleep. I don't know if anyone's into like, low-fat cooking, but a couple days ago, I think it was like, okay, oop. Okay, we are back from the ad break. Um, usually on these streams, I usually go an average of about 2 hours. I usually go over by a little because you know, if like there's a battle in progress at 2 hours, I'll like quit after the battle. But just letting y'all know. I may actually start to put that in the description instead of saying I don't know. I should probably just say about 2 hours and then. I think. But I've actually posted a schedule. Friday of next week I will not be doing Wizardry 7. Instead, I will be playing the Commodore game Friday the 13th. Why would I play Friday the 13th next week Friday? I don't know. And I actually did get my Commodore 64 emulator working again. So I can at least. It's not a super exciting game, but there are scary moments. I will say this: we are getting lots of XP for our for our battles. Okay, no, this is not a bad idea, but it's like you see a switch and there's a door next to it. Okay, so I'll pull the switch. I have a... What door will open when I pull the switch? Okay, it's kind of like, it's not like, I think Fantasy, I don't know if anyone's played that, but in Fantasy you'll push a button that says you'll hear a strange noise in the distance. Okay, some venom weevils. This should be easy. Ooh, Fantasy 3 is fun. I've played Fantasy 1. Both on the I think both on the Apple. I think I played it on the DOS and Commodore 64. I've also solved Fantasy 2 on the Commodore, which is interesting. Fantasy 2 was made for the Commodore, but was not ported to DOS, if I remember. Yeah. But yeah, Fantasy 2 was tough. Okay, we get another battle here. Let's hope. Spirits. Okay, I can handle spirits. The only issue I have with Fantasy 1 was that you kind of, there's a dungeon you could not enter unless you had a certain type of party member, and for the life of me I could never figure that out. Let's see. Really, you could have at least given me a key of tombs or a key of gores. That way I could have at least merged them. Now I'm taking up another inventory space. Ugh. See, as I said, here the weight's not the problem. Okay, this is the ladder out. By the way, I'm not super complaining, but I think it makes for more fun stream, you know. When everything goes perfect, it's kind of like, eh. But fun things like barely making out of the Magda Dane fight, and dying 2 or 3 consecutive times in a row because you got, I think, because you got Spectral Way, which killed me. Then I think I got a Kiss of Death, which killed me. Lovely. Okay, so we're gonna go this way now. This looks like it has 2 ways. Okay. Oh, here's a button. Okay, I hear something. And it looks like we have a battle coming up. Ah, this one I can handle. 656, it probably means they're either There's at least one of them has to be dark forest monks. Because usually mad warders come in like two or three. And same thing with monk ninjas. Okay. So I'm still gonna keep meleeing them. I also don't think there's gonna be any more ad breaks. Usually I think the next ad break comes at like 2:15. That being said, if I get raided, I'll probably I usually like to stream at least 30 minutes after a raid, just so you know. First time chatter, Cascade Pinball, welcome on in. How are you doing today? Thank you for watching the DFortae balanced mod of Wizardry 7. I'm still in the Munkharma dungeon. And I'm still on level 1. Well, except that brief trip to level 2, you know. Oh, sorry. Oh, cell processing. Sorry, I'm like, I usually recognize people by usernames, but still, welcome on in. Another thing that sometimes people do is sometimes they'll actually have two. See, I actually have two accounts. I have a Moody Mystery, which I primarily use for streaming. And then there used to be a Moody Rock. I think Moody Rock's 21 Dragon. That I usually use for watching. Mainly what I do is I use it to kind of keep an eye on my stream. You know, it's kind of like, does the stream look good? You know, how does it look from a different perspective? You know. Oh, look at that Cane of Corpus, 70, 72. Now, if we got the Rod of Sprites, the Rod of Sprites doesn't do as much damage. It probably can do like 30. But the thing about it, it has a 35% chance of petrifying. I say petrifying, not stoning, because if I say stoning, I'm sure there's going to be someone that's going to like say, but what's so bad about getting stoned? I know I usually say that, but okay, nice. Ooh. Oh, good. We only have one group. I'm just going to melee them. Sounds like, yep. Okay, so let's bash them in. I hear sounds like an Amiga, I think of three things. I think of the Amiga, like the Commodore 64 computer, or it could be it's Spanish for female friend, or I think there's a couple users I know that have Amiga in their name. I like Amiga Cami. I think there's someone else, you know. Okay, so I think there's one more. Unfortunately, we don't have the key to that door because I know the cores, grips, and tombs don't come into play until very late in the game. And no, we are. Oh, Amiga computer. No, and no, we are not. So this is the remaining way to go. The question is, this is kind of a maze. Can we avoid... Well, thank you. Thank you, Cascade Pinball. Thank you for stopping on in. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I hope to you know, I hope to check hope to check yours out soon. It's not that I'm not busy, it's that I'm kind of, you know, I'm kind of like unmotivated. Okay, even though there's a bunch of skeletons here, or I could dispel undead, I'm still going to use falling stars. We'll do level 4. I think level 4 will be enough to kill most of them. But next week, Monday and Wednesday, about this time, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, will be the continuation of this. I'm not sure how many more episodes I'm going to need to finish the monk area. Notice every time we hit an intersection, we get an encounter. Okay, these are dragon lizards. They like to breathe acid. I'm just going to melee them just because I've got the Cane of Corpus. Right now it's 1 hour and 50 minutes into the stream, so now that being said, I'm not don't just you know, don't just leave after 2 hours. You know, just because I'll tell you about when it's going to be over. You know, I'll usually give an indication like this is the last. This is like, I'll say like this, something like this is the last battle, or you know. If I can get lucky and find my way to the stairs to the second level, then at least I'd say we'd have a good battle to end on. Okay, that's it for those monks. Okay, let's keep sticking and moving. One of the mented monks said, "I've had enough. I'm not going to take it anymore." Great, another counter right after this. 5 monks. Okay, this should be quick. Dark forest monks, obviously. Okay. Let's look at our map, see what we've got here. Okay, looks like a level 80 it's like a level 80 level 80 point. So I'm saying y'all stick around, because as I said, if I find the stairs, then we'll end on what I would call a pretty cool battle. Okay, we had some, looks like monk ninjas in there, so... Okay, we'll finish them off with lightning. Okay, we've maxed out everything in physical. Okay, we got 4 ghosts here. Okay, well, I found the exit. Now that being said, I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready because I want to get healed. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast a few heal alls. I'm going to cast a few life steals. And what that's going to do is that's going to help heal me. Okay, let's go after one of the Dark Forest monks. They have a little more hit points. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to check what I'm going to do. There is a trick you can use. If like you want to say did I completely heal myself? You just click on equip. And what it does is okay, so we're fully healed. So good. I found out what I wanted to know. Okay, so this is the last battle. After this battle, I'm going to, you know, go raid someone. I have a few ideas who I want to raid. Got it down to 2. Let's go 80 on Falling Stars. Oh, come on! Well, I guess this is the last battle. After this, I'm not even going to bother. I'm going to say, after this, I'm not even going to bother with the bull, you know what, of trying to, like, rest. I'm just going to save it, walk away, and Okay, so we're gonna save it, and then I'm gonna. Okay, then I'm gonna change the configuration. Yep, good. That's what I want. Save. We're gonna resume play, then we're gonna just save and resume. Quit, no save. Quit game. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'm gonna raid LEJ, so stick around for the raid. But again, thank you for watching.
Oh shit.
Who are you,
Oh, it's Moody. What's up?